Can I ask you a question? It's about to get very controversial.
Ask me a question.
Did you submit to any of the...
I got the shot.
Okay, the way that laugh goes on for that long, that is definitely a roast.
I don't know, what was that? Who y'all bringing up here for me? Who? Blessing, top producer, who y'all bringing up here for me? What was that? What was that? I'm out of here. Y'all don't care for me. She want me to kill calves and cut up.
I'm sorry, but this is the most cringe thing ever. Like, he clearly felt really, I don't know, he felt attacked, obviously. Hello everybody, my name is Nazarene Veronica and this is my YouTube channel for the Audacity Network. So today I'll be reacting to one of the Red Pill Bachelor dates. This one is the MTR one, which definitely caused many reactions, and it's been very much requested that I react to this. I've had loads of DMs and people asking me to react to my date because I said a few controversial things, as you're about to see, and it was just pretty funny, to be honest. So I'm going to react to it for you today. I'm going to finally give you guys what you want. Hopefully it doesn't cause any controversial reactions. So if you haven't actually watched the Red Pill Bachelor series, the main premise of it is that you have a load of girls or guys sat in a room watching each other go on a date with someone, usually someone who's quite well known, and you're basically like, you know, reviewing the dates one by one. In the one that I was on, MTR was the Bachelor, and it was a load of girls, including me, in a room. And then we all went on a date with him one by one and reviewed each other's dates. So it was a very good idea for a show, to be honest. But let's just say we didn't quite gel. And you're about to see why. Let's get into it.
As a guy, do you think that's a red flag?
I think it's coming to an end. I know you're gonna miss me.
Let me take a look at the...
Oh Lord, we doing a deep introspect on the...
Where the camera at? Hold on. Hey
Nice
there.
to meet you.
Nice to meet you. What's your name?
Nazarene. What's your name?
Lazarene?
Nazarene. Like, you know, like Nazareth.
Nazareth.
Yeah, like the church.
Like baby Jesus, Nazareth.
Oh, yeah.
Born in Nazareth.
Yeah.
Nazarene.
So I was named after a church called the Church of the Nazarenes. So.
Well, you're in London right now. How long you been in London?
So I was born in London.
Okay.
So forever.
For all.
Forever, yeah.
What do you think about London? Like, you know, still like it here?
I used to hate London, and recently I've changed my mind on it. It's not as bad as I always felt it was, but I don't want to raise my kids here. I think there's a lot of propaganda, and it's just not somewhere that I can see myself raising children.
How you feel about the United States?
So a lot of people actually agreed with me in the comments about this. You don't raise your children in London. Like, if you want them to have a good upbringing, away from a load of disgusting propaganda, you don't raise them in a big city like London. I don't know if you've noticed, but everywhere there's just like drag queen story hours. Literally, they have drag queen story hours where they parents bring their children into a room to be read to by a drag queen wearing literally like nothing, and they're, or some clothes, but barely any clothes. And then there's some videos of them like strip dancing for children, dancing in thongs, like literally you can see their balls through their thongs, and they're wearing like stripper heels and dancing on poles. It is disgusting. But what happens is I go to the drag queen story hour protests and I protest against it and try and like block off the entrance so that the parents can't go in with their kids, just to make a stand and say this is wrong. Anyone can see it's wrong. Anyway, that's one of the propaganda things I'm talking about. Many other things as well. If you think about the past 3 years and look at all of the propaganda in the tubes, on the buses, every single billboard telling you to wear a piece of cloth on your face, telling you to do other things in the past 3 years, if you know what I mean. So that's what I'm talking about. In the countryside, you don't get any of that. So raising your children there is a much better option, and you can control what they take in as well. So that's what I mean by that. Anyway, let's carry on.
Where do you feel better about?
Somewhere either like in a hot country, maybe like the Caribbean or something, or somewhere in Europe like Switzerland.
Interesting.
Somewhere with loads of green area where we can like actually set up a life and just live away from government rules and everything. I want to be completely self-sufficient and just like grow my own food. So I've actually changed my mind about the Switzerland thing after realising that Switzerland is actually the place that the World Economic Forum meet and discuss how they're going to control our lives. So no, not Switzerland anymore. But yeah, carry on. Rules and everything. I want to be completely self-sufficient and just like grow my own food, have animals, slaughter them, live like that. I don't want to live how I'm living now. Okay, so if you watch that, you're going to be like, what are you talking about? Most people would be quite shocked by what I just said. Someone like me who reads a lot about the future and what the World Economic Forum and the World Health Organization have planned for our future, you understand what I mean. But they're going to try and control us through our food, basically. They're going to, you know how we go to supermarkets to get food? What they're going to do is they're going to say to us, okay, well, yeah, you can't have your food if you don't do this. If you have too much meat, for example, if you use too much carbon, like drive your car too much, things like that. And they're going to use global warming as a reason as to why you have to follow these rules. And if you don't, they're going to cut off your access to basic services, including food. So what I'm saying here, it makes a lot of sense. Buy some land, grow your own food, have your own cows, and eat them. It's as simple as that. And that way, they can't control you. The government cannot come to you and be like, okay, well, we're going to cut off your food intake. Because you'll say, no, I grow my own food, actually, so I don't need your food. I don't need your fake food, and I've got my own, so you can't control me. That's what I mean here. So that's what I'm talking about, and I'm not that crazy, and soon you'll understand in a few years' time what I'm talking about. Anyway, let's get into it again. How I'm living now.
So you don't care about marriage?
I care about
Wait. How does that equate to?
Yeah, I don't know what he was talking about. I'm like, oh yeah, I want to buy some land and grow some food and eat my own food and be self-sufficient. Oh, so you don't care about marriage then? What? Like, what are you talking about? I didn't say anything about marriage, and that definitely doesn't mean that I can't be married. So I'm a bit confused as to what he was getting at there. But yeah, really weird. Anyway.
Caring about marriage? Wait. So you don't want to be married? Wait, what?
That was
You don't like government. So you don't want to marry.
He's like, so I don't have to marry you. Just.
I care about marriage.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
So does that come from a religious place? Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to marry with like a government contract.
Got
that
it.
Way.
That's really what my question was.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
I don't believe in that. I don't believe the government should have any say in a man and woman being together. I
agree.
I think it's a contract you should make with God, and that should be enough, to be honest.
Yep.
So yeah. Sorry, I'm like nodding like, yeah, I'm talking a lot of sense here. So I'm actually a Christian, and in the Bible, there's no actual description of what a marriage is. Like, there's no wedding ceremonies in the Bible. You can't read about that and understand what a marriage is. And I feel that this modern way of thinking about marriage, of you know, a government contract and signing it together and having a ceremony, I don't believe that is a biblical marriage. Which, you know, if you want to do it that way, that's fine. But there's nothing in the Bible showing that. So I believe that a marriage is, you can have a ceremony of some kind, but it should be a contract between you, your partner, and God. Not between you, your partner, and the government. Like, they should not have a say in your marriage. They shouldn't get to decide who keeps the money afterwards. Like, that shouldn't be a thing, in my opinion. So when you get married under the eyes of the law, I think that's just the government trying to get involved into something that they shouldn't be involved in, as usual. So it's not really a surprise. But it's very corrupt. And as you can see, the divorce rates are so high, and I think it's because people aren't making a commitment with God. And if you make a commitment with the government, you're more likely to break it, in my opinion, because you haven't got real consequences. Like, yeah, you lose a bit of money, that's nothing. But when you make a commitment with God, you're more scared to break it because you don't know what's going to happen after you die. That's my opinion, and that's what I'm talking about here. A lot of people actually agreed with me as well, so I was quite encouraged by that.
Vibe
Are you
with you on
godly?
that.
Do you believe in God?
I believe in God.
Sorry, are you godly? That's so funny.
Correct. Yes.
Do you go to...
I don't know. I used to go to I was in Catholic school as a young lad. They say that in the UK, right, lad? I was I was Catholic school. Went to church, but now I can't remember the last time I've been to church, to be honest with you.
I tried a few different churches recently, and they just weren't good. But I've found one now, which is like completely awake to everything. So like we literally like pray about things like what happened in the past 3 years. I don't think I'm allowed to say it, but yeah, I'm not going to say the word.
Yeah.
But we pray against all of the stuff the government were like enforcing on us. They pray for my safety because I do a lot of speaking out against this. I've had loads of death threats and stuff. So they pray against any evil things coming towards us.
What's your favorite?
So you may have heard me say that I get a lot of death threats. If you're a bit confused as to why that is, it's because I speak out a lot about what happened in the past 3 years, and there are a lot of crazy people who are so in denial that they've made a mistake with their bodily choices, if you know what I mean. A lot of people hate me for speaking against it, so I get so many DMs like, I'm going to kill you. Oh, you're going to this march. You're going to this protest. Okay, well, I'm going to be there and, you're not going to be there afterwards. Things like that. So that's what I'm talking about. And that's why I get death threats if you're a bit confused, because if you look at me, I don't really look like I get death threats, but I do because of what I speak about. And they just pray that I carry on being able to spread the truth. Against this, I've had loads of death threats and stuff. So they pray against any evil things coming towards us.
What's your favorite conspiracy theory?
Favorite conspiracy theory?
Yes.
What is a conspiracy theory?
The majority of people lead with a particular notion about something.
I'm so sorry, that's hilarious. The reason what's your favorite conspiracy theory? And that's just the weirdest question. Whenever anyone asks something like that, I'm just like, what are you talking about? And the reason I asked what is a conspiracy theory isn't because I don't know what a conspiracy theory is. Of course I do. It's what is your definition of a conspiracy theory? What makes it a conspiracy theory, and who gets to decide if it's a conspiracy theory or not, if you know what I mean? Like, who gets to decide if something's true or not, and how can you say that it isn't? If it's obviously happening, it's not a conspiracy theory. So that's why but he gave me this long explanation of what a conspiracy theory is, which I really didn't need, but yeah, it just made me laugh.
You don't believe it, and you think that there's powers that be, or the Matrix, or something is controlling or puppeteering. What's something that the majority of people believe in, but you think that there's an underlying lie or a cover-up that doesn't make sense, that you think is easy to understand, is as clear as day, and that you often reference?
So I'm actually quite well known for going on a BBC documentary about the injection that was forced on us.
And that's your biggest okay.
That's definitely the thing that I fight against the most, because it's it's killed.
So you
was on
so you're an influencer?
I don't like to call it that, but I'm well known for that.
Well known.
Yeah, so I went on a BBC Two documentary called Yeah, got a lot of backlash, but also mostly actually positive things. People saying, thank you so much for teaching me something. I didn't know all of this information that you've provided. I'm really upset the government didn't tell me this. The NHS didn't tell me this. No healthcare workers told me this. It's weird that I'm finding it out from a 21-year-old girl, but thank you so much for teaching me this. And I got my phone was like being bombarded with messages and follows, and so I became quite known for that. I've been literally stopped in the street multiple times since it was released, saying, oh, you're that girl, you're the anti and I'm like, I'm not an anti anything, I'm just a truth teller. But yeah, that's what I'm talking about in this. I went on a BBC documentary.
Yeah.
So a lot of people saw me. Mm-hmm. They either didn't believe in what I was saying, or they did believe in what I was saying, and they followed me and they found me. And I think I inspired a lot of people to speak out against it. I changed a lot of people's minds on it very early on. And a lot of people are now thanking me for influencing them to not go for that decision, because they can now see all of the information that's coming out about it now. I mean, it's been banned for under 50s.
Got it.
Yeah, the current death toll actually for this is crazy, 18 million. And that's an underestimate. So that's less than actually have died from it. So yeah, it's very upsetting, but I'm very passionate about it because people are dying and no one's allowed to talk about it. Yeah, that's why I was talking about it on this date, because I need someone who has my mindset. That's what I was thinking in that moment. Like, I need someone who's got my mindset and who understands what's going on and who can, find ways to deal with it instead of having someone who's completely asleep to it all and doesn't understand what's happening. So that was the most important thing for me in that. Of speaking out, the BBC actually did me very wrong. They edited out all of the stuff that I was saying. All of the stats that I had were taken out of the final edit.
That's a large degree and reason why I attempt to stay away from platforms like that, because of the editing process, unless they want to do it live.
I knew that would happen, but I had this feeling inside me that I just had to do it because it was an opportunity to get out the information, and I'm really glad I did do it because they ended up leaving in one part which changed a lot of people's minds, where I mentioned some documents which came out, and yeah, people were just like, why did I find this out from a random 21-year-old girl when the government should have been telling me this information? Why am I just hearing it now? So yeah, I think a lot of people realised what was going on and changed their minds because of that. So,
does body count matter?
Yeah. I was talking about such serious things, and then just out of nowhere, does body count matter? Like, what? You were so confusing.
Okay.
For both ways, I think it does.
For both men and for women? Do you think body count matters for men as much as it matters for women?
I don't think it matters as much as it does for women, purely because of the way that we are made. Men are, naturally made to want to
spread oats.
Exactly.
Seed the earth. Yeah,
that's a great way of putting it. Whereas women obviously are made to only be able to carry.
So y'all listen to would y'all classify her as a pick-me?
No.
No, I don't think so.
Biologically, we are made different.
I'm sorry, but how is he calling me a pick-me for stating biological facts? I don't understand. Some people just don't make sense to me. But yeah, I don't think that stating biological facts makes you a pick-me. But I've been called that a lot lately, so maybe I need to stop stating facts so much. I don't know.
I mean, define a pick-me. I think people use it as a derogatory term for a woman who's putting herself to be chosen by the top men. Otherwise, I say you're a pass-around or pass me by. So I would say if you're a pick-me is in the mind of the woman who wants to, if you're ready to you want to get picked, so you're going to put in your position. But people use it as derogatory, and I'm like, okay, pass around. So is it make her a pick-me? I think she's been authentic. Yeah. But I think women who, some women may say that, but I don't think any of us feel like she's doing the most to
I mean, from the topics I'm talking about on this date, I wouldn't really think that is the kind of thing a pick-me would speak about. It scares some people away. I was obviously trying to find the right person in this and doing my weeding out of the bad ones not the bad ones, but the ones who don't see what's going on, which is, like I said, the most important thing for me. So yeah, but again, I wouldn't say that the things I'm talking about here make me a pick-me, no.
Get his approval, anything he says, she's right. Coming from an authentic place. Yeah, she's not oh yeah, I like everything you like. Yeah, I'll move to the U.S. That's a true pick me where she's just a robot and just saying whatever and she's fake. But I don't think she's faking.
What you think?
No, I agree. I think, if anything, I think she's bringing a little bit of controversy, right? It's not just so easy asking questions. She's what is a conspiracy theory, right? She's got a little bit of clapback with it. So I think that's good and engaging.
This is a different group of women I'm sitting with right now. Because anybody else, they'd be like, oh no, she's being a pick-me.
That's because you're hanging around with loads of lefties. That's why. If you're used to women saying that another woman's a pick-me for stating biological facts, then yeah, you're not hanging around the right women, that's for sure.
Hey, that's all I want to ask.
A child for 9 months, and then for that whole time they're they can't have another child, whereas men can have as many as they want to in 9 months. They could have I don't know, you do the maths, how many kids can you have in 9 months if you put work into it? Yeah. Put work into it. That's too funny.
Yeah, I mean, I often say that men have sex with who they can, women have sex with who they want to, and if a man can, there was a video that just went viral of a young man that has 7 baby mamas.
and 7 different kids. And I don't know if it's like a real story, but he's purporting it like it's real. You know, things on the internet sometimes it's just clout chasers making stuff up. But if it's real, then that's weird. But he has the opportunity and availability to be able to do that. Whereas a woman, it would take her years to be able to accumulate that type of rap sheet. So
Exactly.
yeah.
Can I ask you a question?
You can absolutely ask me.
It's about to get very controversial. Can I ask you a question? When you hear me say that, it's never a good thing.
Ask me a question.
Did you submit to any of the...
I got the shot.
Okay, the way that laugh goes on for that long, that is definitely a roast. Yeah, I mean, I had to ask it eventually, right? I had to pick my words very carefully because of YouTube censorship. So I said, did you submit to any of the government propaganda in the past 3 years? Did you? I don't know why I picked those words, but it was even funnier because I said it like that. And yeah, he understood what I meant and he did get it. He did get it, but yeah.
I did it.
He's like, what it is, though.
You see, look at her face. She's like, oh no. She's like, I can't.
Immediately no.
She's like,
Immediately no.
leadership?
Yeah. Oh no. From that point on, all down. Not good.
She was smitten before that.
Well, I don't know if I was smitten, but yeah. Definitely all chances gone. 0%.
Over.
Okay.
How does that make you feel?
How does that make you feel? Clearly not great.
I think I'm a lemming.
I don't think you're a lemming. I don't think you're a lemming. No, not a lemming, but I don't know. I don't want to be too controversial and too rude, but for me, anyway, I'm about to say it. Why did you do it, if you don't mind me asking? Was it?
The person that I go to for advice regarding hard decisions in my life is my father. Mm-hmm. And he suggested that I do that. He comes from a different era, a different component of life, and I often rely on him for incredibly hard decisions when it comes to things like that. So.
Ooh, cringe. I rely on my dad for hard decisions. Take that in. That made me even more pushed away. I was like, okay, so you go to your daddy for advice on the most important decisions in your life. Like this, I don't know if people understand how serious this is, but to go to your dad and take his advice as like, without even doing any of your own research. Like, of course, you can take people's advice on board and, you know, understand things from other people's point of view. That's really good because you need a load of opinions and then you sort of make your own based on that and your own research. But what he's telling me here is I went to my dad, he told me to get it, so I got it. That just shows me you're not capable of making your own decisions and leading your own life. So how are you going to lead mine? How are you going to lead our family's life? Like that just instantly massive turn off, like so bad. Awful.
I leveraged what he was saying and then made the decision on top of that for myself. I'm my own man, but you know, I utilize mentors in order to kind of, you know, come up to the best answer regarding something.
He didn't actually say he did any of his own research in this. He just said, I listened to my dad and made my own opinion on it. But you're not really telling me that you actually did any of your own looking into it. You just took your dad's advice. Like you're saying you're your own person, but really, I don't know. I don't want to be too mean. Like I have nothing against this guy. He was very polite, very nice. I think for any woman, maybe not any, maybe I'm just an exception here, but I need a man who does his own research and makes his own decisions, especially when it's something so important. Anyway, you'll hear what I've got to say about it. For me, it's important to have someone who I know will me and our family in times of like, you know, tyranny, which was what happened in the past 3 years. I understand you weren't aware that at the time. Do you know now Yeah, so what I'm saying is I need a man who can lead us through anything. And the past 3 years was absolutely tyrannical. And I know for a fact it's going to get worse. It's going to get so much worse. It's going to be double, triple what happened in the past 3 years. Awful social credit system, telling you can't use your own car, making you do things that are eco-friendly, and if you don't, you get punished. That's what's going to happen in the next, I would say 2030 would be the time it's going to start happening, or before that. That's what I'm talking about, and I'm saying it's going to get worse. And if you fell for that, what else are you going to fall for? If you made such a rash decision without really thinking about the consequences, and you took your dad's advice, how can I trust you to lead me and our family through anything? So obviously I do believe in submitting to a man, but I think he needs to be able to lead. And if I can see this from a first date, I know he's not the man for me, basically. So yeah, I made that very clear to him. I mean, it can maim you, injure you, to the point of disability. It's literally killed, I think 1.8 million is now the count. Used to be 1.8 million, now it's 18 million. Yeah, and it's going to get higher and higher. That's literally an underestimate. So that's, awful. They died suddenly after having it. With no explanation for their death. So it is now slowly coming out. I think it's been banned for under 50s here.
How's that number compared to the amount of people that took it? How many took it in total? Like 500 million or something like that?
They were saying that only like 30 million.
Okay.
I think the number's higher there.
So I think I have to agree with Melody at this point. There are certain topics that they say are like
this
taboo
is a drag,
for the
boo.
first
I got
date,
to
just like
go.
politics,
Y'all, I got to
religion,
go.
all of that. And this has become a homeschooling session.
All right,
about
this is so serious, bro. Like, we all got stuff we believe in, but like, we got.
Okay, so this woman, the one in the black, I think her name's Mel or something, Melanie, I don't know what her name is, but she clearly did not like what I was talking about here. And even afterwards, we had like we had a fallout about some things. I basically told her what's going to happen in the next few years, and she was like, no, it's not going to happen. Like, you don't know that. Like, it's not going to happen. I'm like, well, they're literally telling us it's going to happen. So yeah, it will happen. The World Economic Forum are releasing videos about it. How can you say it's not happening? And she basically accused me of being a conspiracy theorist. So she clearly didn't like me. And she made it quite clear in this, like, she clearly had a massive problem with me talking about these things on a date with her friend. But he's already turned me off. So why am I going to, be flirty and, nice and happy on a date and lead him on when I clearly am not interested in him anymore? Like, he's not an option for me anymore. So of course I'm not going to flirt with him. Like, I don't think she understands that. I think she thinks I'm still in it when I'm not. Definitely not. But yeah, let's hear what she's got to say.
I mean, this is supposed to be sexy. This is like,
whose fault is it? Is it her fault or his fault for the topic?
I think he dug into it. Now he dug a little into it. He was interested. He was intrigued at first. We thought him.
But I feel like, especially because she's younger, like, you know how passionate we'll be about something until we've lived a certain amount of life, had experiences. I remember myself being that way. So it's almost like your identity is what you do. Mm-hmm. When as you get older, you realize, like, I'm a world of things, or everything I thought was right, or I'm more balanced. I'm like more accepting. It's not a criticism, but you can see where an age gap here, it's going to be very difficult. I mean, it's nearly, how many years is this? 16, 17 years?
The first.
She's so wrong. There are so many people who know what's going on, and they're not all young. Like, in fact, the majority of them are old. The majority of them are much older than me. I don't know what she's talking about. This has nothing to do with an age gap. This is happening, and it's going to happen very soon. And all I'm saying is I need someone who can go through it with me and lead me through it and make sure that my family is safe and they don't make any bad decisions for me and my family. Like, that's all I'm saying. And she seems to think it's to do with age when it isn't. I get what she's saying, but this does not apply in my situation. I'm fighting for the future of humanity because the World Economic Forum are going to try to control us to the point of we're going to be like robots, government slaves, literally. So and I said that in another video. I said we're going to be like government slaves. And she was like, what do you mean slaves? Why are you saying slaves? And she made me out to be like, not a racist, but she tried to suggest I was, somehow racially aggravated in what I was saying. And I was like, this has nothing to do with race. I'm saying everybody is going to be a government slave if we don't resist. But yeah, she really, really did not like me. And it's because I embarrassed her friend. I didn't mean to, I just asked a question, but she didn't like that. So
I mean, it's nearly, how many years is this? 16, 17 years?
The first half of this, I was like, I thought it was going so well.
He was great. I was like,
Yeah, and it's like nobody's smiling. Like, it's like rare. It's so serious. I feel tension or like I'm being schooled, and I'm like I get it, but like we all have something we're passionate about. I can get into to all types of things.
the thing is, this is a non-negotiable for me. So yeah, I'm not going to carry on being happy and flirty on a date, leading a guy on when I know that he's not the one for me, because he's got a quality or something which is a non-negotiable for me. So I'm not going to negotiate on that, and that was really important to me, and that's one of the first things I want to know on a first date, because I know that if the answer is yes, I can't carry on with it. Or I can carry on with the date, but I'm not going to carry on with the relationship. So yeah, she didn't understand that. She doesn't understand.
But I don't know. I don't think you should lead with that. Like, it just feels very
I feel like
aggressive.
He keeps asking her questions about it.
He's digging a little bit.
He's digging.
I think it's because he's intrigued.
I feel like as women, we gotta learn to deflect better.
That's it.
But she's young. She's so much younger than him. Like, she's just getting out here. You can't really blame her because he has
his fault.
He has to lead the date better.
Yeah.
Come on, MTR. What's up, boo?
She got to read the room. When he went the body count, you should have went that way instead of coming back to the coronavirus.
Yeah. There's no flirt.
Instead of coming back to the coronavirus. No, I don't like immature, dumb conversation on a first date. I like deep, intellectual conversation. So if someone comes to me about a body count, that's not interesting to me. Like, yeah, I have a view on a body count. There's only so much you can talk about a body count. Like, it doesn't interest me. So I think anyone who brings up a body count on a first date, it's a bit of a weird thing to bring up, in my opinion. I like having deep conversations. So yeah, it just, it turned me off even more. It really is a turn off. Did not know how to captivate my mind. That's what I'm going to say.
Like, it's just very serious in school.
I felt like in the beginning there was a bit, but let's continue.
I think a lot of people paid for fake passport.
When people take the flu vaccine, how many die?
Not as many.
How many?
I don't know how many die from the flu vaccine, but this one is different from the others because it's mRNA technology.
Is it statistically significantly different than when people take?
I mean, the scientific makeup of it is different, so it's not. Oops.
Okay. It's okay.
Bleep. So the scientific makeup of it is different to any other injection.
I can tell that you're really passionate about that. But as far as men that you're looking for within your life, what are the characteristics that you'd be looking for?
So mentally strong, a leader, someone who can see any threat around and completely is able to protect and our family if we did have a family, which is what I want. So I took a stab at him without even realizing it. Someone who is a leader, a strong, mentally strong man. Someone who can see any threats around them and protect me and my family from them. Like, that is hilarious. Didn't realize I was even doing that, but that is literally what I want. It's as simple as that. And he didn't make the cut. And I rubbed that in even more. So I didn't mean to do that. Sorry. Sorry for hurting you. Someone who is godly, who understands that, God provides and who prays. My dream is to have someone who just prays with me it's actually really cute. Day about anything we're going through, because I do feel that God can bring you through difficult situations if you just depend on him for help and guidance. I'm about to cry, I don't know why. That made me really emotional.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So what do you think are the things that you'd be willing to contribute to a man?
Obviously, I do have traditional values. I do believe that the woman should stay at home once you have kids, to look after the kids, to raise the children with your values. Because I feel if you depend on other people to raise your children, it does cause problems. They're learning someone else's values instead of your own. And right now there's so much propaganda going around in schools and stuff, and I would want to homeschool my children for that reason, because I don't believe that schools are a safe place for kids to learn anymore.
Interesting. Yeah,
look what's happening in schools. Like, children are literally learning some children in some schools learning how to masturbate, which is disgusting. and there are books they're being read which are about like drag queens or trans, or you can change your gender if you want to, or a woman can marry a woman or a man can marry a man, which it's happening. But do primary school children really need to learn about that? Do 4-year-olds need to learn about that? Do babies need to learn about that? I don't think so, because I didn't even know what sex was at that age. And now children are being taught so much about sex. And there are some schools where you're not actually allowed to even remove your child from sex ed classes. So that's what I'm talking about here. I definitely am going to homeschool my children so that I'm in full control of their curriculum, if you want to call it that. I get to decide that. I get to decide what they learn about. I get to decide what they're exposed to, not somebody else, not the government curriculum, the government guidelines of what a child should know and what a child shouldn't know. Like, that's crazy to me that I understand that some people have no choice and they need to send their kids to school, but I do believe that if you do have a choice, definitely homeschool your children or get like a private tutor where you can actually decide what they teach them, because what's going on right now is disgusting. There is definitely an agenda to brainwash children, and I do believe that if you're a woman and you've got a man who provides for you financially and you're able to, please homeschool your children, because even if you think you don't know enough, anything they learn in school isn't worth you not taking that chance. So definitely a great idea. Homeschool your kids, guys. Homeschool your kids, please.
Say that the mother passes down the culture from generations to generation. So what else? Is there anything else that you think you'd be able to lend to a man? Like, how do you...
I'm very clean. I cook a lot.
What's the last thing you cooked?
The thing I cooked is a roast dinner. Oh no, actually a steak.
Steak dinner?
Steak this morning.
How'd you cook that steak? Was it medium?
No, it was
well,
probably rare.
Rare?
Time's out.
Oh.
Did you kill the calf yourself?
No, sadly I didn't. I'm not at that level yet. That's my dream.
That's to get there. Kill it, eat it,
Yeah.
boom. Hey, listen, I respect it. I ain't mad at it. What's your name one more time again? Nazarene.
Nice to meet you.
It's an absolute pleasure to meet you.
So a lot of people will be like, what do you mean your dream is to kill a cow and eat it? Like I said, I don't want to be controlled. I want to be completely self-sufficient. And the way that I would kill a cow is much less cruel than the way that they kill them in like massive batch farming, where it's like battery farmed and the cow is in a cage all its life and then they kill it in a really brutal way and it's like half dead for ages and in pain. I wouldn't do it that way. So that's, again, it's much better than what we're seeing now. And I do think that, definitely a dream of mine. Definitely a dream of mine. I'm not going back on that. So cold.
It's a little bit cold. Yeah, we're gonna give you an iron tablet out in the front.
An iron tablet?
Oh.
I don't need it. I got loads of steak in my diet, so no iron needed.
Of course.
He loves Big Pharma, doesn't he? He takes their injections. He takes their iron tablets instead of just eating steak and having honey and lemon. Like, it's a cold. You'll be okay. Trust me. Have some natural remedies. Stop depending on medication, which literally has so many side effects and just gives you more health conditions. Like, what is wrong with you? How'd you not get it?
We don't want to give you any medicines or nothing like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm just like, yeah. You could just tell I was done. Let's see how he reacted to our date. Lol.
I'll be honest, I don't think that she's looking for a man. I think she came up here pushing an agenda. I got nothing to do with this goddamn shit. I don't know what was that? Who y'all bringing up here for me? Who? Blessing, top producer, who y'all bringing up here for me? What was that? What was that? I'm out of here. Y'all don't care for me. What was that? What, she want me to kill calves and shit? She want me to kill calves and cut up little...
I'm sorry, but this is the most cringe thing ever. Like, he clearly felt really, I don't know, he felt attacked, obviously. I can't believe he reacted like this. She doesn't want a man. Actually, I do want a man, and that's why I acted like that on the date, because I realized that you couldn't live up to that, I'm afraid. Like, for me, a man is a guy who can lead, make his own decisions, and make, correct decisions most of the time, and not make any life-changing mistakes. And I get, it happens sometimes, but for me, that's a non-negotiable. And he thinks that because I didn't like the fact that he wasn't able to do that, I'm not looking for a man, when in fact I was looking for a man, and that's why I did not encourage you or flirt with you on this date. And he thinks I was pushing an agenda, but really I was just, vetting him, and he didn't pass. He failed miserably, unfortunately. But yeah. I don't know. I feel bad. Like, I do really feel bad, but it's just how I see things. So not everyone's the same as me, but yeah.
See the calf and eat it. If I can't do that shit, I'm a modern man, all right? Give me a supermarket. Give me the cut of meat. I don't want, listen.
Oh my gosh, she just said she wants me to kill a calf. I don't kill cows. I'm a man. Give me a supermarket instead. Like, you're literally proving to me why I wasn't interested in you. And watching this back made me even happier with my decision to not carry on anything with this date, because this is the last thing I want. I don't want a guy who wants supermarkets. I don't want a guy who wants everything handed to him by literally massive businesses. I want a guy who is able to do it himself. And if you're not able to do it yourself, then how can you call yourself a man? Sorry, but like, if you're saying that in times of hardship you wouldn't be able to kill a cow to feed your family, that's crazy to me. I think, beef is so nutritious and you need it really in your diet. You don't need it, but you only thrive on a meat-based diet. And if you're in a situation where the government's like literally giving you grains to eat and saying, this is all we're giving you, sorry, you're on rations now. What, you wouldn't kill a cow to feed your family? That's beta behavior, in my opinion. And yeah, not feeling this guy. Really not feeling this guy.
YouTuber, I gotta make time to make content, baby girl. Content. I don't got time to be Mr. Wilderness. It's not what I'm about. What? I look at the scientists to see what the goddamn to happen and go along.
I look at the scientists to see what's going on. Oh, the scientists who are paid by the companies that they're making decisions for. Yeah, you look to them. There's no conflict of interest there, is there? Yeah, you're definitely getting the right information with that. That's embarrassing. That is so embarrassing. I forgot he even said this, to be honest. I can't believe this.
Jesus.
I need to make content. I don't have time to kill cows. I need to make content. Wow. You're not a real man then, are you?
Refill.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed that. It definitely got controversial. I didn't think it would, but that brought out some emotions in me, obviously. And yeah, if you enjoyed it, please give it a like and subscribe. And yeah, follow for more. I definitely have more videos coming up, probably just as controversial as this one and just as entertaining as well. So yeah, I'll see you in the next one.